Who told me today? Doggone it. Somebody told me about a video camera of, or he was watching a store. Anyway, two guys kicked the door into a convenience store and broke into it. And they went in, and this person was watching them, and they came out with cigarettes and beer. Now, does that tell you where these
It doesn't give
people
us
are?
much hope for our species, no.
No, thank you.
You know, I mean, I hate to put it this way, but when I grew up, I'll give you a bit of personal history here, okay, and it's kind of rare, I think. I grew up as an Army brat, and one of the things that they used to do in the 50s and 60s was by they, I mean the powers that be, at a local level, especially in the South, they had this little problem, they thought, which was integration. They've been ordered by the feds to make all these schools not quite so black. And so they, rather than put their own sons and daughters there, they just said, oh, well, we got all these Army brats here. They're used to this biracial kind of stuff. We'll put them in there, and we'll integrate the schools with these kids, right? It gave me a unique perspective on things because I was a white kid who was a minority in America in a black school and thoroughly loved it. It was just great. But in any event, the thing was, at the time in the 50s and 60s, when you said survivalist, you were talking about people with dark skin in urban environment. The Black Panthers, some of these people were the most organized. They had community services. They had weapons. They had food stored for years. They had bunkers. And a lot of that is gone. And now, of course, it's been fractionalized. But we need to get, to a certain extent, we need to return back to that level of personal militantism that was voiced that way. The organization stuff and all of the clothing and stuff, I could never get behind. But the philosophy wasn't all bad.
No, it's true. Another thing that's interesting between both your work and that of Gerald Solenius is you're both into the martial arts and understand that whole mindset, that whole philosophical approach to being prepared. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Well, you live a different life. I mean, if you're a martial artist, it's a calling. Been doing this stuff for 30, 40 years at this stage, and I'll be doing it till the day I die. And it's more than just simply a mindset. It is truly a way of life.
Right.
And you look at things differently. Like the powers that be are not evil, nasty, rotten bastards. They may, as David Icke says, be shape-shifting reptilians, and we'll have to deal with that. But at the human level, if I deal with them as a human and a martial artist, I realize that a lot of them are going to have to die. I'm sorry about that, but I don't wish it that way, because I would prefer that we just educate them. In my particular art, it's like Aikido. You have the option of making any and every response to an attack fatal if you so choose. But the easiest thing to do is to just keep flipping somebody over and over and over again until they get the idea that every time they stand up, you're going to roll them again into something hard. And pretty soon they just lie there, and then you can reason with them. You've gotten their attention. And in this case, it is the attacks that they're making on us that is despicable, that is truly evil. And I think we demean ourselves by making the people evil. These people are frightened. They have no moral compass. They don't know what they're doing. They're psychopathic.
Sure they are.
But we need not imbue them with a power that they do not have. And if you take the appropriate martial art status here, then you end up with, a certain kind of passion, if you will, that says, okay, we're in for it. Bring it on and let's get serious about this, because I am not responding to your evil with an evil of myself by perpetuating that energy, by making you the object of it. I'm just dealing with your behavior, and we'll soon get that out of you. Sort of an instant re-education.
Very good.
But speaking of other subjects here, I'd like to do a quick little offer. And
we got a break here coming.
This is that little memering, that little radical experiment.
Now, hang on, would you, Cliff, because we got a break here. Let's
do it on the other side of that.
And just briefly, since our 2-hour extravaganza, our 2012, what's been the response?
Well, an outpouring of distemper, if you will, on the part of all kinds of people that was unexpected, and a lot of scientists that got on my case, and then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks ago, NASA started echoing a lot of the things I was saying.
Yeah, they did, and that was very interesting.
That was very enlightening,
yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's still up at Rense.com. You can listen to it any time on the left-hand side of the home page with Clif. Back in just a couple minutes, and do stop by halfpasthuman.com, The Shape of Things to Come. Available right now, issue 3 for $10. Back in a minute. And welcome back. Talking to Clif High this hour. little note of the unusual, if not the obscene. New York is about to release a 100-year-old convicted child molester sex offender. They're going to let him go. He's leaving the halfway house, and the people at the halfway house say that the old guy has not changed one bit from the manipulator who used his grandfatherly charm to snare and rape victims as young as 4. What a weird world this is. 100 years old. The guy was just at it 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. All right, what's up?
Well, the little bit of radical linguistic experiment I wanted to try here involves making a free offer, but as with anything that's free, we need to note the cost, even though there's no price.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. And the cost in this case is that I'm going to ask or make an offer, and as part of it, I want people to put the word Gary McKinnon in a subject line or an email text.
Okay.
This will cause certain things to occur. What we're actually doing is a form of engineering of a meme. A meme is a thought virus. We're taking it one level further, and we're doing what we call memering, homage to the people at the Pentagon and the E-ring there. And we're doing a bit of memering and engineering a meme that will alter how the databases work and the kind of results that they're getting relative to Gary McKinnon, who's this poor fellow in England who happened to discover that NASA was stupid enough, along with a bunch of other federal agencies, to use an image of an unpassword-protected operating system on their computers, and he went snooping in open doors, basically, and saw what he shouldn't see, and now they're trying to come and sit on this guy.
And, by the way, may have seen a lot more than he has, to date, released and talked about. That, I think, is what this is really all about.
I'm sure that that's what this is about, and they're probably wondering why he's kept his mouth shut, but because I believe he's honorable, and that he was acting as he said he was. Yeah. In any event, I like the guy. I've seen him on a couple of interviews, and he's a regular human, so I wanted to see what I could do to help him. And so some of the things that I can do, I mean, I'm an old fellow, and I've got responsibilities here, so it's not like I can go and kick the crap out of the federal government on his behalf. However, I can make it a little bit more difficult for them to substantiate their situation around him and cause problems for the bluntly, the bastards on the other end, who, by the way, my phone just went hollow now, and so they're listening direct.
Oh, yeah.
E-ring guys, I mean. But in any event, here's the cost. Anybody who responds to my offer will get linked up in this networking software that the Black Ops guys use to make a note of who talks to who about what. And it forms their, potentially, if they ever got around to doing it, and they came to scoop everybody up, they'd use that software to decide who were the most radical people that had to be scooped first. And as they do it as a result of the number of hits and based on nodes and all these kind of algorithms and stuff. And what I intended to do was monkey with some of their algorithms. And the offer that I have is that any a serving member of law enforcement or the military can get a free report of mine, any one they want, current, fact, any of the history ones, any of the old, more expensive ones. I give it to them for free, but the cost is they have to put Gary McKinnon in the subject line or in the body of the email, and they have to identify themselves as a serving member of law enforcement or the military. You needn't tell me your unit or any of that. If you want to put down, you're part of Screaming Eagles or something like that, that's fine. But bear in mind, even if you don't send it from a .gov or a .mil address, you will be linked in by this software. And so there's the cost. It may come at a personal level to you. But the information for the law enforcement personnel, I've gotten a lot of guys that have purchased the report for $10 and have sent me emails saying that they were very appreciative of the heads up because they've been seeing the small hints of what I'm talking about in their daily lives. And I help put it into perspective for them.
All right, what do they do with this email? They mail it to you?
They mail it to moon@halfpasthuman.com as long as it has that Gary McKinnon, and I'm sure there will be people that will take advantage of this, but it's like, okay, guys, if you're, attempting to defraud me in the sense that you're not a member of the military or the law enforcement, still be advised you're going to be a part of this whole little memering.
Do we want non-members to do this?
No, I was just wanted to, help out the military and the law enforcement personnel that just don't have the high-level perspective that's, brought in from the upper echelon.
Okay, that's McKinnon, capital M, small c, capital K, I-N-N-O-N. Gary McKinnon.
And see, this will pollute their database. This will make the data mining balloon all out of proportion and give them erroneous results.
Well, what Clif is talking about is keyword, and they'll pick it up. Their computers will choke a little, perhaps, we hope.
No, it won't actually choke, but it'll skew the statistics enough that it will actually cause a positive benefit for poor Gary.
Good.
And it'll come in handy later on. And actually, as a result of some of the work that I've done with law enforcement, there is some of them that are going to provide me with one of these third-generation nightscopy things. And I'm going to go out and do an Ed Grimsley and see if I can't see some of these flying around extraterrestrial craft that in the off-planet fleet that Gary referenced, and see if I can't make those more public. The idea being that the more public we can make this, then it'll become impossible for the powers that be to claim that this is in any way a secret, or that NASA was harmed by him going into their computers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, give me a break, guys. They didn't even put a password on it.
They didn't. Unbelievable. All right, Gary McKinnon. Anybody in the military active or law enforcement active?
Yeah.
Just send Clif an email. Just put Gary McKinnon in the subject line, McKinnon, moon@halfpasthuman.com. Moon@halfpasthuman.com. Again, you'll be picked up, but you're already on the list anyway, folks, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, actually, probably if they're listening to you.
Yeah. Well, very good. That's a nice thought, and if I were involved with the military, maybe I'm just as suspect, who knows. But do it, guys and gals. That would be great. And a lot of you are listening actually overseas, believe it or not. I mean, we got military men and women listening around the world to the program now, and certainly later in the archives. It's got a lot of reach and longevity. So.
It sure does. I mean, the last time I did a free offer was relating to Michael Cesarian's work, and we had well over 500 people pick up on it.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, as we roll into the, for many it's going to be a joyless holiday season, 25 million unemployed, 20% of America on food stamps.
Yeah.
By the way, a young couple I'm aware of in Arkansas applied for food stamps, and you know what they were given per month in food stamps? $900 a month in food stamps for a man, a woman, and an infant child. $900 a month. That's a lot.
No, that may seem a lot, but these days...
Well, I understand. Depending upon how wise you are at the market, though, you can make that go a long way.
Oh, sure. I mean, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, boy, you could live like a king. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Okay.